Okay, going to show a couple of things about the gaucho braid now. There have been some questions on how to back out of it. If you've noticed you've messed up somewhere, you need to back out of it to correct that. I've thrown in a screw up somewhere in here. You can see where the pattern starts to come down here. It's all nice and even. Somewhere around here it's screwed up, and I can see that. So what I'm going to do when I back out, you're just going to remember the last thing that you did and take it out. Okay? As soon as you notice there's a screw up, remember the last thing you did and step back all the way to the screw up. So you can see here I went under 1, over 2, under 1. So I'm just going to pull that back carefully. Don't want to knock your strands out of place. Just bring it back around over here where it belongs. Then before that would have been the over 2, under 2. Remember, we're kind of going backwards now, so we're going to take that back out. I'm going to bring it back around to the side. And there should have been, this should be an over 1, under 2, over 1. You can see how I did the exact opposite. I went under 1, over 2, under 1. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this strand that's messed up, just bring it back around here. We're going to go and do it right. Over 1, under 2, over 1. There we go. And then we just continue on. Got your over 2, under 2. And under 1, over 2, under 1. Just like that. And there's the pattern. Now, occasionally, whenever you're braiding these, what I generally tend to do is it doesn't look like it all the time. I'll tend to pinch the cord with my fingers so that I know that these strands all stay in place. You see, and I like doing these in black, red, black, and alternating colors, just so I can look at it at a glance and tell, hey, it's they're all in line. However, if you need to figure out where your strands are going to be, there's a pretty easy way to tell. If we start from the left, from the left side here, we can see that there's a strand that goes here, and then there's a strand on top of it that goes here, a strand that follows down there on top of that. See how that's on top of that? You know, I know it's kind of off to an angle, but you can tell that it's on the top. This one is on top of that. This one is on top of that. And if you follow it out, you can see that this, if this is supposed to be on top of that, it comes straight down like that. And same thing on the other side. You got this is under this one, just like that. If you just follow those strands all the way through, you can tell where your strands are going to be if you have them straight. I mean, if you have them, you know, let's try to screw this up a little bit, I don't know. Okay, I've got them a little bit messed up here. All I got to do is go back up here. Which one's supposed to be on top? Looks like that one. This one follows it around that way. This one should be here. That one should be there. Got the same thing on this side here. That you can see that this one's the bottom one. This one comes next. This one comes through next. And this one comes through next. You just follow it back up through the braid. That's all you got to do on that. Now, if you need to set this down and come back, let's say, you know, I'm sitting here braiding, nothing else going on. I'm sitting here braiding, and all of a sudden remember that we left something in the we need to go clear the laundry, or we gotta get food off the stove or something. All you gotta do, I'll usually finish out the braid, but if it, you know, it's the fourth step, I usually follow it out to the 4th step. On the 4th step I'll usually pull pretty tight. Sometimes you can pull these a little bit tighter. See how that takes out some of the line there. And these are just my suggestions. You don't have to do this. However, I do like pulling these pretty tight. If you need to come back, get yourself a pair of these chopsticks. This was a tip I got from the great Melvin Thomas, the guy who pretty much made these types of braids well known around here. And all you got to do is make sure your strands are in place. Stick it on just like that. Stays in place. You can let it go. I normally don't worry about this side because I'm pretty used to how the braid lies, but you can stick another set of chopsticks over here, or you can use a set of hemostats. I'll use those too. That way you can set it down. This can flop around. You can carry it wherever you want to carry it. See? And it's going to stay in place. And whenever you're ready to go, just pull that back out, pop that off, and you're ready to start braiding again. Uh-oh, I've got some strands out of place. All you got to do, there, and there. So your strands are all in place. You're ready to go again. Hope that explains it for you. If it doesn't, ask more questions.